it's Sophia. This video was very highly requested in my comments section for my college decision reactions video. And basically I'm going to go over my high school stats, extracurriculars, and just basically advice that I would give to you guys that are going to go through the application process next year or in years ahead. I took the ACT 4 times. The first time I took it, I got a 29, and I was not happy with it. So the second time I took it, I got a 31. The third time I took it, I got a 31 again. And in September, I got a 35 on the ACT. So that's the only score that I ended up sending to any of my schools. For my SAT subject tests, I don't think I sent any. I really didn't send any, but if you guys want to know, I'll still tell you. So I got a 760 on Spanish, and I got a 700 on Math 1. Those are the only two that I might have sent to some institutions. I'm not really sure. So for my AP scores, for 10th grade, I took AP Seminar and AP Euro. For Seminar, I got a 4, and for Euro, I got a 3. 11th grade, AP Lang, AP Capstone Research, AP US, and AP Chemistry. So at my school, the grading system is on an 100-point scale, and honors classes are multiplied by 1.05 scale for the weight, and AP classes are multiplied by 1.1 scale. So yeah.
So my weighted GPA was a 98.624. I'm in the double accelerated math program at my school, meaning that instead of starting the high school math sequence in 8th grade, I started in 7th grade, so I got a year ahead of the rest of the students in my class. I definitely took the most demanding courses offered at my school throughout the 4 years, and that would be my biggest advice to you is try to challenge yourself as much as possible. These averages are all weighted, and even though most of my grades are in the 90s, there are 2 averages that are weighted that are in the 80s, and those are AP Bio and Pre-Calc Honors. Don't worry too much about having 1 or 2 grades in the 80s because in the end, it really won't hurt you.
I think that the extracurricular activities were really the thing that helped me stand out to Stanford admissions officers and the other schools I got into. Throughout my whole application, I kind of had a theme. That's one of the really big pieces of advice that I could give to you guys, is to try to have sort of a common theme throughout your whole application, to kind of tie everything together into one specific theme. So for example, for me, all throughout high school, I was just extremely involved in music. I'll list off a couple things. So the main thing that I kind of highlighted in my application for music was that I was the lead in my high school musical, which was Mamma Mia this year, and I was Donna Sheridan. And so that was a really great experience for me. I was also president of the Tri-M Honor Society, which is the Music Honor Society, and I was president senior year, vice president junior year, treasurer sophomore year, and I was a member freshman year. So that was another thing. I was also an all-state vocalist senior year. I was also in chamber orchestra. I play the cello. I've been in chamber orchestra all 4 years of high school, and 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, we also had a middle school chamber orchestra. So I've been in chamber orchestra for 7 years. I also received the Arian Award for music, for vocal performance. That was given to me by my chorus director. And for music, what else? Oh, so this is kind of music and also just another club that I'm a part of is called Cabaret Night. So I've been involved since freshman year. Freshman year, I had to audition, and I made it onto the vocal team freshman year. Basically, cabaret night, we prepare for like 3 months for a performance to raise money for pediatric cancer. And one of the performances is a vocal team. So I made it onto the vocal team freshman year. And sophomore year, I was elected as treasurer of the club itself. And I was also a vocal team member. And then junior year, I was president and also co-captain of the vocal team. And then senior year, I am co-president and co-captain of the vocal team as well. This year, we're unfortunately not going to have a performance because of coronavirus. So yeah. Now I'm going to talk about some other extracurriculars that I was involved in. So for example, I got involved in Model Congress in my junior year. One of my best friends convinced me to join, and I fell in love with it. I never really realized that I had a passion for debating and public speaking, but I really have a passion for it. And I'm so happy that I joined, that she made me join, because it was a very life-changing experience for me, and I'm not really exaggerating at all. It was really just so eye-opening and everything. So whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I ended up winning a lot of awards junior year for debating. And then that kind of pushed me to apply for a board, the executive board for Model Congress. So this year I am the upper delegate chair for Hewlett Model Congress. And that basically means that I oversee the juniors and seniors that are a part of our delegation. And I kind of have a big role there. So yeah, and just one thing that I highlighted in my application was an award that I won, which was the best speaker in the House of Representatives. I've also been involved in robotics since 10th grade. We meet every Friday. It's a lot of time and dedication. But yeah, so sophomore year, we won the Inspire Award. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with FTC. We won the Inspire Award at Long Island Regionals, and that moved us on to Super Regionals, which was in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And that was so much fun. The next thing is that I'm the president of Multicultural Club. I've been in it since freshman year. The reason why I joined Multicultural Club was really just to do that, to like educate people about my culture and to learn more about other people's culture. In the summer of my sophomore year, I went on a summer study abroad to Beijing, China. And it was really just like an intensive language study. And at the same time, we explored the culture in Beijing and stuff like that. So I did talk about that in my application. My Chinese teacher wrote one of my letters of recommendation, so she talked about that as well. I think I didn't read the letter of recommendation, but I'm sure she talked about it because she was the one that recommended me for it. And yeah, so I'm also a student ambassador for the US-China Strong Foundation, and that was through my trip to China. So a lot of this stuff is connected. I wanted to talk about before that along with Multicultural Club, I talked about the fact that I'm a pediatric volunteer at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York City. I've so far done like 67 hours of community service. And basically I've had so many experiences with families that are only fluent in Spanish, and I've been able to communicate with them and relate to them in Spanish. And that's really made them feel supported, loved, and make them feel like they're at home. And I've also spoken to a lot of grandparents that only know how to speak Chinese, and they're like, wow, your Chinese is so great. And that also kind of made me feel very connected with the patients in another way, rather than using Google Translate or asking for a translator, it was very different. So I talked about that. I also was recognized as a National Hispanic Scholar by the National Hispanic Recognition Program. I already talked about this. National Honor Society. I received a scholarship from RIT. It's called the Innovation and Creativity Award and Scholarship. I'm in the International Thespian Honor Society, Foreign Language Honor Society, and I did Silver Cord. It's basically I did 30 plus hours of community service each year, and I'm an AP Scholar. So that's basically all of my extracurricular activities that I highlighted in my application. I really think the more important part of your application is showing that you have a passion in something, whether it be art, science research, whatever you have a passion in. It could even be like horse riding. I don't know. Whatever you have a passion in, you have to make sure that you highlight that in your application and really just make sure that the admissions officer knows that that is a very big part of who you are, and don't be afraid to show it. I want to read one of the letters. Okay, so this video is more like to get into Stanford, I guess. So this is a letter that my admissions officer at Stanford wrote me in my likely letter. She wrote me a handwritten letter, and it says, "Dear Sophia, welcome to Stanford. You are a star, and I am so excited to welcome you to the Stanford community. You blew us away with your passion for theater, Model Congress, passion for language, and international relations. Your teachers and mentors described you as impressive on every single level, with a wonderful imagination, an insatiable curiosity, and a passion for learning. So excited for you to begin your next step of your educational journey at Stanford. You've earned it. Congrats." Just stick with what you love. That's the biggest advice that I can give you guys. Don't do any extracurriculars because someone said, oh, the college admissions officers love seeing that on your application. Don't do that just because people are telling you that it's good for college. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that it kind of shows you guys that your application is more than just your grades. And just remember that you will end up where you belong. Comment down below if you guys want me to do any more kinds of videos, what other content you guys want to see. This quarantine is really getting me in the YouTuber vibe. I don't really have a lot of subscribers, so please feel free to subscribe. And yeah.